Again, thank you so much, guys, for coming over and being here, and hope you're having a good day today. I'm going to give a sort of a brief overview of what I've been up to as a new program director for avian ecology at Archbold. And I, of course, have the unique privilege and the tremendous imposter syndrome that comes with standing on the giants of these two men. Glenn Milford and Reed Bowman have always been sort of ornithology heroes for me. And so stepping into their shoes has been challenging and intimidating. But as I talk about bird research at Archbold, I have to flag that our scrub jays are not the only birds that are studied at Archbold. In fact, there's this terrific team up at Avon Park Air Force Range, led by Dr. Jones, that studies not only Florida scrub jays, but also red-cockaded woodpeckers and incredible Florida grasshopper sparrows. And between these three birds, we get to sort of check off all the four pillars, all the conservation pillars of that Archbold sort of rests on. Saving the rarest of the rare, addressing climate change, sustaining grasslands, and connecting large landscapes. So all the research that we do here at Archbold, and I'm going to largely talk about the research done at Archbold on scrub jays, is because of the amazing interns and RAs we have. They work really, really hard to collect so much data, such detailed data every year, over and over and over again. And so some of the stuff I'm going to talk to you about has been collected by the 100 or 120 or so volunteers, interns that have passed through the program. All right, so as I'm sure you already know, the scrub jays at Archbold are sort of world-renowned systems for the study of evolution of cooperative breeding. Again, that emblematic photo with this third adult individual on the nest and why they do that. But also a lot of what Reed spent his life studying was the effect of how to use fire as a habitat management tool for Florida scrub jays. And so we continue to do that. And as I'm sure you know, from Fitz's talk and Tori's talk in the morning, that these themes are still really, really important for the research that's done in the avian ecology program at Archbold. And we do that because we collect these extremely rigorous demography data. We follow about 160 nests from construction to fledging. We follow about 80 fledglings every year. And it's just a lot of extremely detailed work that we sort of pride ourselves on. Archbold, avian ecology wants to measure everything because we don't know when something will become important and what life history stage we might want to get more information on. And if there is, we try to measure everything scrub jay, for the lack of a better word. So like I said, we follow a bunch of nests, measure the nestlings, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Have extremely high resolution survival data for a lot of these animals, which lets us put together these incredible pedigrees. So we have a 14 generation deep pedigree of Florida scrub jays. And so for a lot of the Florida scrub jays that we have, we not only know who their parents were, but also 14 generations up through. But as scrub jays become ever more fragmented and each population gets even more isolated, I am getting increasingly interested in how other populations are doing and how other populations can help us conserve Florida scrub jays better. And so we work across the whole Lake Wales Ridge ecosystem in 13 different sites that is not Avon Park, where we monitor scrub jays for Florida Fish and Game, FWC, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And both those entities are very, very crucial conservation collaborators for us. The reason why we do that is because we are really interested in understanding not only how Florida scrub jays are moving across the landscape. And so you've seen now that we have really, really detailed genomic data for these the population that we have, but we're also collecting blood from all the other birds that we sample out on FWC lands and US Fish and Wildlife Service lands. And so we can start now asking questions about how genetics or population genomics happens at a population stage. Some of that is already out, but I'm also collaborating, or we are also collaborating with Angela Tringali, Todd Jones, Raoul Boughton, and using these other populations as spatial replicates to understand how all this amazing land management that FWC does and US Fish and Wildlife does, how is that impacting Florida scrub jays in different sort of contexts? So it could be a small population size, or a recovering population, a declining population, a stable population. How do these all these populations sort of are moving around at the same time across a big landscape? So again, a quick shout out to 3 posters by Hannah, Lauren, and Angela, and they're up here. So you can go to them and learn more about what they are up to. It's also really, really cool to work with Sarah and collaborate with her on this incredible sort of really cool story of genetic rescue with Florida scrub jays, and in JDSP. And a lot of last night, Fitz and I were sort of salivating over who will it be who will come and analyze all these data for us. And we're really interested in understanding how genetic rescue really works with this bird that we all love and cherish. The one thing that I'm sort of really interested in studying further is the effects of climate change on scrub jays. And that's because we are getting really, really good at managing populations and managing habitats to increase carrying capacities of scrub jays, but we don't know how they will be or they are being affected by the ever-changing climate in Florida. And so here's a quick and dirty graph of the winter temperatures at Archbold. So over the last 50 years, winters have gotten warmer, except that 2010 anomaly. Generally, winters now are warmer than winters last year. So climate change affects birds in sort of, there's 2 flavors of climate change science with context to birds. The first is looking at seasonality. And so how is the winter temperature or winter weather conditions affecting the breeding season, or the breeding season's temperature conditions affecting the fall? And so you can study these interseasonal effects of warmer or cooler previous seasons. But there's also a lot of research, especially now, on day-to-day effects. So how are extremely hot days affecting birds? Or how is a string of extremely hot days affecting birds? And so those are both things that we have really wonderful data to test already with the 50 years of demographic data and 50 years of climate data that we have. And so in a paper that we have in revision right now, we have shown that scrub jays, the population first nest state for scrub jays advances about 1.5 days for every degree Celsius increase in winter temperatures. So that there's about a week difference, WEEK, weeks worth of difference between the warmest winter and the coldest winter in when scrub jays start breeding. And so as winters get warmer, we expect scrub jays to start nesting earlier in the season. We're also seeing an effect on fledglings produced by scrub jays as a response to to what the previous winter's temperature was. And so warmer the winter, potentially scrub jay, the predators of scrub jays become active earlier and start hitting nests earlier. And we see about 1 less fledgling per pair between the coldest and the warmest winters. And so again, this is only possible because we have so much variation that has already been documented at Archbold. The other sort of really incredible part about the internship at Archbold in avian ecology is that interns get to do independent projects. And this year, we have 3 interns right now, Cass, Esteban, and Charlotte. They've all done really, really cool projects, and they have posters. Quick shout out, you should definitely visit their posters. But Charlotte wanted to work on something that I was also interested in. And thankfully, she took the bait when I said suggested to work on something like this. And so she's actually looking at these intradays or like daily high values of temperature. And so what this graph is showing is that nestlings that are the first 11 days, so when we measure nestlings on day 11, and she took the average maximum daily temperature for those 11 days in their nesting cycle. And what she's shown is that both at cold and hot extremes, nestlings are about 5 grams less than in that middle zone. So warm temperatures are affecting nestlings in the way that nestlings are lighter, fledge at a lighter weight when it's been really hot out. And we know that nestling body mass at fledging is crucial for survival. So the probability of reaching nutritional independence is about half for nestlings that are down here in the 30-gram range down here in the 30-gram range to those in the 65-gram range. So the body mass that you fledge at is very, very important, and it's likely being affected by the temperatures that you're experiencing in those first 11 days. So Archbold strives to do conservation, research, and education. And I came into the job I'm really, really passionate about education and outreach. And thanks to the amazing collaborations we have and the amazing teams we have, education and development teams we have, Archbold Avian Ecology has, in the last year alone, been able to do some really national level education and outreach. But we also work a lot with the community. And again, our interns are such important mascots and ambassadors for us, because they do all these really cool education programs with the local public through open days, but also our summer camps. Last but not the least, this year we also had the first of hopefully several Maxwell Hand-to-Hand science illustration internships. Our first illustration intern was Anika Chaffee. She is a graduate student at the Savannah College of Art and Design, and she is the one that produced the JD logo. Not only that, she is also working on this incredible comic about Florida scrub jays that hopefully you all will see soon. Anika has been really, really great, because we've been working with the Highlands Education Board, and Anika has incorporated a number of state and national learning standards into the comic. And so the hope is to put a scrub jay comic in the hands of every Highlands County middle schooler for the next 3 years. So, and if you need more, we can maybe print more. So let us know. But with that, I just like to quickly wrap up. Thank all the people. Again, thank you, Mosaic, for sponsoring this event, and all our collaborators. And quick note is it's almost time to take a group photo, but I'm happy to take any questions.